Hide your kids, hide your wife, because this Hollywood Nepo baby is hunting people down for not wearing masks in 2025.
God. Oh, here we go.
We're talking about 19-year-old Violet Affleck, daughter of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. I don't know who invited this girl to speak at the United Nations, but she showed up, masked up with her N95 in the year of our Lord 2025 to advocate for permanent mask mandates. She also told them that she has long COVID.
If you care about masks, there are so many more masks available that are so much more effective. This is all just performative BS. Wear a gas mask. You can get a surplus one for like $50 from a military surplus place.
But it's performative.
Yes, it is.
We know that.
Let's watch this video here.
Here's what we know about SARS-CoV-2. It is airborne, floating and lingering in the air. One infection can result in disabling damage.
You can just hear the anxiety in her voice. It's
she's
insane.
suffocating.
Almost every cell in the body, from the brain and heart to the nerves and blood vessels. Every subsequent infection increases the risk of long COVID and places people who already have it in greater danger. Here's what we don't know, is what it does to reinfect children over and over and over again with no end point in sight from the day they are born.
That's a dude, right?
We are about to find out. As Dr.
Akiko
Iwasaki
yes.
says, at this point, the whole population is the control group. And after only 5 years, long COVID has surpassed asthma as the most common chronic illness in children. 5 years. I am terrified for the children who do not or soon will not know a world without debilitating pain and exhaustion, who cannot trust their bodies to play, explore, and imagine, and who will not know the potential of their own minds unfettered by the cognitive damage from a COVID-19 infection. And I am furious on their behalf. It is neglect of the highest order to look children in the eyes and say, we knew how to protect you, and we didn't do it. We have access to a technology to prevent airborne disease, something that millions of our ancestors and millions of people around the world today would kill for, and we refuse to use it. And I shudder to think of where we will be in another 5 years of unmitigated infection and reinfection.
Okay.
This was at an event called Healthy Indoor Air, a global call to action. She was invited, I believe through her school. She goes to Yale, and introduced as a youth advocate, a voice of Gen Z, a climate champion, and a clean indoor air advocate. And you guys might recall that just earlier this year, she wrote a paper as a Yale student talking about her conversations with her mother, Jennifer Garner, as the LA wildfires were still going. She basically shamed her mother for not blaming the fires on climate change, and also her younger brother. And you guys also might recall that last year, Violet Affleck addressed the LA City Council about prolonging mask mandates.
I noticed that she slowed down her rate of speech, but it's still so manic sounding. I don't know if it's because she's trapped in the mask and it's hard to breathe, but it just radiates
because she's hysterical.
Anxiety and hysteria, and I feel honestly horrible for her because she can't snap herself out of it. And if in the year of our Lord 2025 you are still doing that, I don't know if there's any hope for you. I mean, maybe we can get her and Taylor Lorenz to some type of like mask rehab group.
They need to be institutionalized.
I don't know.
They need to be institutionalized. And I have pointed out before, this is diagnosable hysteria. There used to be a concept in pre-modern psychology of female hysteria. And I actually looked into what the diagnostic criteria were. So we have excessive emotionality, displays of intense emotion, crying, laughing, irritability, deemed inappropriate or excessive, nervousness or anxiety, hysterical fits, also known as hysterical attacks or paroxysms, behaviors seen as socially inappropriate. There are also some physical symptoms, unexplained physical ailments, sounds like long COVID, headaches, fatigue, shortness of breath, pain without a clear medical cause. There are motor disturbances, temporary loss of movement, tremors, spasms, often attributed to emotional causes, sensory disturbances like numbness, blindness, loss of speech. That could benefit her and the rest of us. There's also one that stood out to me here called globus hystericus, a sensation of having a lump in one's throat, historically tied to hysteria. Or also symptoms related to sexual dysfunction, a lack of or perceived hypersexuality were considered signs of hysteria. And these symptoms were almost exclusively attributed to women based on the assumption that female physiology made them prone to emotional instability.
Look, you're acting like your mother. You need to calm down.
And lastly, social deviance. Women who deviated from their expected roles by being overly assertive, refusing marriage, or expressing dissatisfaction were often labeled hysterical. And it's been a while since hysteria has been listed in the DSM around the mid-20th century, but I don't think that should have happened. I think that was a mistake. And if this girl were alive in the Victorian era, she would be bedridden with some obscure nervous disease. If she lived in the Tudor era, she would be one of the aristocrats who fell under the delusion that they were made of glass. She needs to be locked away for a very long time, not being invited as some sort of authority to address the United Nations.
Well, do you think anybody at the UN thought of asking her to calm down?
I don't think she should have been invited in the first place.
Also, I want to know why nobody at the UN was doing their job and asking her what Ben Affleck's thoughts on the Snyder cut were, because I really wanted to know if he talked about it at home.
Yeah,
like,
when is there going to be the Affleck movie?
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I really want to hear what her thoughts are on how her dad was treated, in the post-Snyder era over at Warner Brothers. They had all this time to ask her, and none of them thought of doing their damn job.
Actual important questions.
Important questions that society could actually benefit from. And we're over here talking about, climate change and long COVID. There's better things to talk about.
Neither of those things are really real. Like, climate change is not an actual problem. If it was, we would know about it because they've been talking about it for 30 years, and they've been saying in 15 years the polar ice caps are going to be gone and the seas are going to rise and blah, blah, blah. None of that's happened.
I miss when the ozone layer was the thing that everybody cared about. Remember that?
Yeah,
I mean, even that was before my time, but
to fix that, all they had to do was use a different brand of hairspray.
Yeah.
I'll quote Sean McElwee. All of the Zoomers that work for me are bisexual, and all of them have long COVID. I'll believe long COVID is real when someone who is not bisexual has it.
That's good. I like that.
So long COVID is just the manifestation of, they're like, look, I need to be unique and special in some way, therefore I must be, sick.
Isn't it weird how long COVID disproportionately affects a subset of one demographic who all share the same personality?
Shocking.
She has Munchausen's. And I might even argue she has Munchausen's by proxy, because there's no way this girl would be so mentally disturbed if it weren't for her Hollywood parents, both Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. I mean, you need only look at her younger sister, who believes that she is non-binary and goes by the name Finn, and her friend, Jennifer Lopez's daughter, who also happens to believe that she is non-binary. And look here at Jennifer Garner. This was from back in Pride Month. She's decorating a bunch of trees in rainbow ribbon. Idiot. She is an idiot. That doesn't mean she's not a nice person.
Yeah,
but she is an idiot.
Sublimated good, a good heart that's been sublimated to a bunch of other things because there is no challenge for her in a life that has been so blessed with fortune and abundance.
Joel Berry pointed out Jennifer Garner seems like one of the sweetest people in the world and a perfect example of how women untethered from truth can have their empathy hijacked for wicked, harmful purposes.
I mean, I remember the video of her. It was like her giving her shoes, the shoes off her feet to a homeless person.
That's performative as hell.
Well, I mean, that was the whole thing, right? Is she had these videos where she would make pre-planned sandwiches and food for homeless people. Look, a lot of people say that's better than giving them money. I'm the one who gives them money, knowing full well what they're going to do with it. You know, she's got the time, she's got the emotionality, and this is what she does with it. But I would still say I'd rather be around that than whatever Violet Affleck is doing, who's going to, like, get in my face and pant while telling me to wear a mask.
Yeah. I just thought this was a funny mention. Meghan McCain slammed Ben Affleck's daughter, Violet, over her UN speech, saying, "This is why people hate Nepo babies," says the daughter of Senator John McCain. Yeah. But I mean, she's right. You're giving the Nepo babies a bad name. Yeah. You're tarnishing the reputation of us Nepo babies.
I mean,
Meghan McCain is a well-accomplished and kind, seemingly sane person. So
I wonder if Violet Affleck will eventually start a podcast, but she'll have to do it in isolation so she can take the mask off, or maybe get a microphone that will go in the mask.
Well, that's what white dudes do, right?
Yeah. Violet Affleck isn't trans.
Her younger sister.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking of
her younger sister, Finn, believes
okay.
that she is non-binary.
But
bad. Again, neither
apologies.
of these Affleck children would be so disturbed mentally if it weren't for the influence of their parents.
I am looking forward to the upcoming Ben Affleck and Matt Damon movie, The Rip, on Netflix, though. So that's going to be great. I'm sure the money will go to a good cause at home so that he can fund more long COVID research.
How about not paying for her tuition at Yale?
Yeah.
That would do her a lot of benefit. And she would also benefit from some time at a nice facility with finger painting activities, maybe some macaroni arts and crafts, nice walks outside, no masks. Yeah, I think she could also benefit from a lobotomy. Maybe we need to reconsider that. Maybe we need to reconsider our condemnation of lobotomies as a society.
I do think that what happened with COVID and the immense amount of media propaganda that was pushed on everyone did a number on a lot of people. So if you want to look for the potential victims of what Google did with all of their censorship of information during COVID, which is still going on because Alex Jones tried to reinstate his channel and start a new channel, and they're like, nah, not on our watch. Look no further than the likes of the Violet Afflecks of the world, who have let it burrow into their brain and turn them into something unrecognizable, I am sure, from what her parents knew her of before when she was younger.
It's sad because it's true that a lot of people became permanently brain damaged from lockdowns. It just usually we're referring to boomers, not people her age.
Do you think it's brain damage, or do you think that it's I mean, I suppose brain damage might be a colloquially used term, but I'm wondering if it's they liked the drama that came along with it.
We're living in history.
Yeah,
yeah.
And without that, their life is exceedingly boring. Especially someone that...
Well, it's just anyone who's more prone to...
Histrionics,
hypochondriacs.
It did it to the hypochondriacs.
They just needed something to kick it off.
Yeah.
And especially for Violet, for whom lockdowns began when she had no fully formed prefrontal cortex, looks like it's done permanent damage.
Yeah, I don't think that you can... and then the thing is, you were then gaslit into being told, when they shut the schools down, they're like, this is going to be fine. Kids can miss socialization.
They're like, in fact, it's better.
They're like, but the same people would tell you that homeschooling your kid is going to damage them. They're like, if you homeschool your kid, he's going to be weird. But if you just take your child out of his socialized environment for 2 years, that's completely fine.
Ironically, that's kind of what convinced a lot of parents to take up homeschooling, because
Oh, yeah.
they finally saw what was being taught to their children once they were on Zoom calls.
Teachers should have to wear body cameras. If cops have to wear body cameras, teachers should have to wear body cameras.
They should at least have cameras in the room.
I agree.
Like every school room should have cameras, absolutely. And parents, it should be just on a website, and parents can log in and look at their kid anytime they want.
Live stream all day.
Should have, and that the cost of that would be, I mean, because it's government, it would probably be 100 times what it needs to be, but it could be
Right.
done for a few $1,000s.
the technology.
Yeah, a
The
few $1,000s
parents
per school.
And the parents should be able to send in super chats for things to talk about in class.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.